What's up, guys? It's MENES back again with another video. Today here we're talking about Twisted Metal, the show, not the video game. Although I did play a little bit of the game back in the day. Uh, I don't think we had it, but like somebody we knew, we went to some place. Some people that our cousins knew, I think, had the game or something, and so I used to play it a little bit. I think some other people I knew kind of had the game at one point or something. So I saw the game being played a lot, played it myself a little bit, but I mean, it's nothing I really sunk a ton of time into, but listen to the soundtrack. This is so PS1. I love it. This is like fucking rocking right here. We're jamming out. Alright, anyway, so I'm talking about the show, which came out a couple of years ago or something. My brother showed it to me. He wanted me to watch it. We watch a lot of shows together, so I thought it was really good, actually. For not knowing that much about Twisted Metal, the extent of my Twisted Metal knowledge is literally, hey, there's that clown guy, Sweet Tooth, who's on the cover. I remember him, and then that's it. And then, like, you know, it actually got me, like, invested. I don't know if this is the actual lore of, like, Twisted Metal. Is this, like, this post-apocalyptic, like, world where they're, like, basically battling, and they're, like... I know that was a thing. Like, you know, you battled against each other, and there's, like, this whole concept of this... He's a milkman, basically, they call him. He... Delivery guy, you know? He does transports between sectors and between cities and whatnot, and, like, the whole rest of the world is just chaos, you know? It's a typical post-apocalyptic thing. But it's cool because, like, it's very focused on, like, cars and stuff. Like, I'm not usually that into cars and stuff, but, like, so there's a lot of good, like, car chases, and there's, like, action scenes, like, gun battles and stuff, you know, in between, some, like, cool stuff like that. I don't know. They just, and the characters are good. Like, that's the thing, too, is, like, you actually kind of care about the characters and stuff, which, like, a lot of shows, you know, based on something, like, they'll have a lot to work with. I can't imagine there was much to work with like, Twisted Metal. There's, like, a lot of iconic characters, I guess, but, like, I don't know any of them, but a lot of them are in the show, and that's pretty cool, you know, like, um, but I don't know if the main guy, like, is a character in Twisted Metal. I think that he's just a guy that they made up for the show, basically, but he runs into this other girl, Quiet, at some point, like, from Metal Gear Solid 5, no, but for the same reason, her name is, like, Quiet. I guess we never really find out her actual name. Um, he was supposed to ask that at one point, and then he didn't really worry about it. But, like, her brother dies by this, like, law guy, this guy Stone. He's like this cop, and even he has, like, a kind of decent backstory where it's like, you see him on the first day, and he's just kind of given up trying to make law and order in, like, a crazy post-apocalyptic world, and then, like, something clicks in him, you know, like, people are robbing from this, like, other person who, like, has, well, who does he doesn't side with the robbers, but, you know, the guy has, like, way too much food. He could be helping out, everyone else. But anyway, he goes and, like, breaks this thing up. I think he kills a couple of them, or all of them, or something, and this is kind of, like, his origin story of, like, I need to bring law, no matter what, back to this fucking world. And so, like, he's the villain, but he's, like, a good villain, in a sense. Like, I like to watch him on screen. He's always, like, intimidating, but he's always just, like, interesting, too, because you kind of get where he's coming from, which is nice. Like, they kind of give everyone a backstory, and I thought that was pretty cool. You don't really get the Sweet Tooth one until, like, the last episode. There's only, like, 7 episodes, too, by the way, but it doesn't really matter. He's, like, the best character, honestly. Like, I mean, I expected no less, but the guy's great. You know, he's just so unhinged, and he's got this very Joker energy to him. But also, like, his backstory, he, like, locked his parents away in the asylum that they locked him away in, so it's, like, very poetic and whatnot. Which is pretty crazy. Um, but and also, like, there's this new recruit to, like, the police guy, and, like, his friend like really wanted to become one of them, kind of thing, and he was pushing this other guy to become one of them too, but he didn't really want to kill people or whatever. I think his name is Steve or Stu. Stu, that was it. Yeah. So, um, for some reason, him and Sweet Tooth really hit it off, and like, um, that's cool. I like that too. I like their bond there or whatever. It's such an awkward like why those two specifically, but it's great. It's so much fun to watch them together and like usually he just kills people, and then Stu like gets him to realize like, hey, we can have people like to be our allies, to be our like crew, our reinforcements, and then they all spoilers by the way, I guess they all end up getting killed in the last episode there, so that's kind of devastating um for him because he finally had people to roll with, and because he was kind of a loner for the longest time there, both of them, Stu and Sweet Tooth, but um I just like Sweet Tooth. I think he's great. The two main characters are great too. The whole thing is like the main character John needs to like get this package over to San Francisco or from San Francisco. No wait, to San Francisco from Old Chicago or New Chicago, Old Chicago, the restaurant, New Chicago to get him back there. It's pretty like a simple premise, but it's like this would allow him to like get into the city because like now everyone outside of the city like just doesn't have access to the cities basically because like unless it's like they're doing a run or something, but usually they'll just like meet him at the gate or something because they don't want people from the outside coming onto the inside and then like ruining stuff, but like through Quiet and her brother who died, via Stone or whatever, we kind of find out in her backstory that being inside the city is not always great either because it's like there's slavery basically inside the city that they were a part of. Society was kind of behaving like normal, and then, but except for like there was the very like higher up people who basically took all the other people to be slaves and just kind of if they were like did anything wrong they would like cut off their body parts and stuff. It was really messed up stuff, but yeah, so it's not great anywhere, and we've definitely gotten like hints like right away. I think it was in the very first episode that like even if he gets back to San Francisco with this package, I mean it's not, they might betray him. I don't really know what's gonna happen because that hasn't happened yet. The whole first season is him just getting there and getting the package from whoever that guy was, who was apparently another character in fucking Twisted Metal. There's like a lot of references, I guess, to the games. So like if you know the games, I'm sure that's like cool to see all these references to it. But I like that I don't need to know the games, and it still kind of works on its own. Even if I didn't know, because I don't know anything about the games, and I still really enjoyed the show. So I think that's great. Most shows would be like kind of pandery, or like a movie would be kind of pandery towards like the fact that you would know the games, but this like works even if you don't know that. Like, and I'm not. That's the thing too about it, is I'm sure there wasn't like that much to take from, like lore wise and story wise and stuff, but it's like they came up with something really interesting and cool, and just like a fun idea for a show. It's cool. It's got a lot of action. It has like some kind of horror-esque moments. Lots of cool car chases and stuff, and good tension. Good characters. Just good bonds between the characters, and it's cool. It's just a good show. And I can't wait to see what happens, and hopefully they do kind of get a second season. I think it got greenlit, but because they kind of leave it on a cliffhanger. It's like he gets the package, and then he's headed back towards San Francisco there, and but Stone now knows that he's going there, so I think that's what the whole second season is going to be about, him just like tracking him down along the way and whatnot. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a fun show. It's a great, I guess, adaptation. I wouldn't know, but even if it's not, it just is a fun thing in its own right, and I think that's great. I just really enjoyed it. You know, it was cool. Um, I guess whereas like something like The Last of Us show, I don't really have a lot to talk about because it's very similar to the games. I can talk about a couple of things. Like this was a lot easier to talk about. Well, namely because we watched it all in a really short like couple of weeks here anyway, you know. But um, be a lot easier to remember everything that friggin' happened. Plus, The Last of Us is complicated. There's a lot of things going on. But it's very similar to the game, so it's just like, is there really enough to talk about there that's like different from the game? This is its own thing. I don't have any preconceived notions or ideas or anything about the game for the most part, except for some like vague memories, and then therefore I have a lot to talk about when it comes to a review. I mean, enough to talk about, you know. So, I think that's cool. I think we definitely. I'm excited about season 2, you know? I want to see it. I want to see where it goes. We definitely need more video game shows like this is what I was going to try to say. But check it out, you know? I think it's... I don't fucking know. I think it was a Peacock show, you know? I don't... I'm like the lawless, like, Wild West. I don't fucking follow them streaming services, you know? I'm outside the boundaries of that shit. Find my own way to roll, you know, my way or the highway. That's what the streaming services are saying, but now I'm saying that too. So anyway, yeah, great show. 8.5 out of 10 season 1. So when season 2 comes out, we'll review that. And so until then, this has been MENES saying stick around, you know, subscribe for more underrated movie shows, video games that are all video game related, I guess. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Emily out.